I just thought I'd have a little chit chat with you. I want to get a few videos sort of in the pipeline, because there'll be days I can't film like I have done today and like I did yesterday. Days when I get a bit too busy. So I want to have a few things in the pipeline. The only thing is my phone's been playing up a bit. And I've got a weird, so the memory card that's in there is sometimes choosing to not record or not save the things that I film. I know maybe it's self-editing. You know, that was crap, it's got to go. Ooh, that was rubbish, it's got to go. Yeah, so my other half's formatting it for me. It's all very technical, too techy for me. So yeah, he's going to format the card for me, and hopefully it'll work, because my phone memory itself is not really big enough to store the videos on. And the thing is, once I use Kiln Master, I think it is, for my videos, for the editing software. And the thing is, if I delete, so like I make the video and then I delete it, like not delete the video I've made, but delete all the like little clips or the elements of the video, then Kilnmaster tells me that it's gone. Like, just because you put it on Kilnmaster doesn't mean that you can take it off your phone. I'm not making a lot of sense, am I? Basically, if you take the videos off your phone before you have uploaded it to YouTube, then it comes off of Kilnmaster as well, is what I'm trying to say. Not doing a very good job. So yeah, so I have to keep all the videos on, and then there's just no room then to export the Kilnmaster final edited piece onto my phone. But of course I can't delete the things beforehand, because then there won't be anything to export. So it's a pain in the neck. So yes, what I'm waffling about is that hopefully he's going to format that card and it'll fix the problem, and I'll be able to have some videos lined up in the background. Okay. What am I doing tomorrow? What am I doing tomorrow? Which probably by the time you watch this will be today, because I'm not putting another video up tonight. So, what am I doing Saturday? I have no idea. We've got a weekend where the kids have got various parties and activities and things to go to. So yeah, we're probably going to hang around. And I'm a bit broke at the moment, so it's just a tricky time at the moment, because most of my kids are term time only, and we're just about to enter the summer holidays. So they're term time only, which means a lot of them don't come during the holidays, and I've now got a 6-week holiday with only half the children coming that would normally come. So that's going to make a big difference. And I've got a family on maternity, so I don't want to fill up spaces, because it's a family of 3 children. So mum's on maternity with a third. So if I take on, even temporarily, if I take on until the new year when they start back full time again, it's faffing around, and it's difficult for children to settle, and then I won't have space for them after January. So yeah, I'm just kind of holding out until the new year, really, when hopefully things will be back to normal. And also I've started having a reduced Monday, so just having before and after school children on a Monday, which, you know, it's financially not as good as if I was working, because I don't work Fridays, so it's not as good as if I was working 4 full days, but it's not so tiring. And when you look after 3 or 4 little ones, I just wait for that car to go. 3 or 4 little ones every day, from like, I don't know, 8 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock at night. It's hard going. Or even if they, you know, some of them go home at 3, it's hard going. It's hard work keeping them occupied all that time. And yeah, you know, dealing with the tantrums if you get one that's having a difficult time, or it's not you know, it's an amazing job. It's so much fun, and I wouldn't do anything else. And it's really rewarding, but it's hard work and it's tiring. And you know, I'm getting old now, getting older. It's yeah, it's not as easy as it was when I was nannying and doing. I don't know, crikey. When I was in my 20s, well, late teens, early 20s, and I nannied. I was working. Well, I think I started work at 7 and I finished work at 6, and then the parents separated, and I'd quite often be there like till 8 or 9 o'clock at night, sometimes doing overnights as well. But I think just having one family was actually easier than having lots of different, because I only had one child to look after, so maybe that's what it is, rather than having lots of different children. I mean, there's some days here when I've got like 8 kids in the house after school, and they're so well behaved. They're such good kids, they really are. But it's still hard work. You've got to feed them all and keep them all entertained, and you know, sometimes there's squabbles, but you know, you just have to teach them to get along, don't you, really? And because we're in a small place, like we're in a small village, so the kids are all at school together, something like 70 kids in the school, and that's like preschool, so 3, they start at 3, all the way up to year 6, so they leave at 11. And they're like a little family, so 70 kids. And, you know, some of them have been in the same class all day with the kids, and then they come home, you know, and they're with me all evening. Some of them have arrived, you know, in the morning before school, and so they've spent an hour with them already. So I think they go a bit stir crazy, I think, being with the same people all day. I know my oldest, oh my goodness. I did have to, I mean, it's one of the reasons I dropped Fridays was because he was really struggling. He just needed one day without any other kids here. So I dropped my Fridays. But yeah, I remember my old next door neighbour, they used to drop their kids off at about 8 in the morning, and he was in the same class as the lad all day, and then they'd come home with us until about 6. And there was 2 lads that I looked after, who were in his class, and one day he flushed both their coats down the toilet. Now, admittedly, my lad has autism, on all those high-functioning autism. He clearly couldn't express his frustration in a verbal manner, and his vocabulary is amazing, but he clearly just couldn't process it, and you know, so that was his way of expressing his frustrations at having them in the house in the morning, being in class with them all day, and then having them home until 6 o'clock in the evening. So yeah, he flushed both their coats down the toilet. So I ended up picking him up, listening to the teacher tell me this, putting the coats in the washing machine, getting them washed, and then apologising profusely to the parents. I mean, they were great, they were good. I mean, I think they understood the situation. But yeah, it was a bit embarrassing. That was a bit embarrassing. But yeah, that's when I decided to knock the Fridays on the head, because he just needed a break. He needed one day, one school day, where he could come home and not have, you know, his classmates here as well. But on the whole, he's coped really well with my job. Both of them have. And for kids that find social situations quite tricky, they've done really, really well. Kenzie has a habit of taking himself, so he's 12, and he has a habit of just vanishing and leaving people wondering if he's coming back, because he does his social at school, and then he just vanishes. So it wasn't like that at primary, because like I said, there was only 70 kids there, probably less than that when he was there, and he was fine with that. But he's now in a school of like over 1,000, probably. You know, I wouldn't even be surprised if it's 2,000. There's a lot of kids there, and it's noisy, and you know, he really struggled to settle in to start with. But he had a friend over yesterday. No, day before, Wednesday. Had a friend over on Wednesday, and he did make me laugh. I mean, thankfully, this friend, He's my godson, so he's like my best friend's son, and they've grown up together, they're best of friends. But he came over, and I did say to his mum, he's going to need picking up at 6 because Kenzie's not going to have coped. He's going to have done his social. He's not going to be doing people after 5:30, 6 o'clock. So it's only going to be a short visit. And I took the kids up the park, and they'd been up the park. And by the time I came home at about 5:30, Kenzie had put his YouTube on. He was sat eating something. He had got his friend a drink and a snack, so he hadn't completely ignored him, but he was not talking to him anymore. And so Charlie came and helped me feed the birds and weed the front garden and what have you. Was chatting with me about our hedgehogs that go out the front. And I sent his mum a message saying, I'm just so sorry, but Kenzie he just reaches his cut-off point. He's done with people, can't cope with people anymore. And he doesn't even talk to us in the evening. He just takes himself off and just wants to put himself in the zone. And that's usually YouTube videos in his bed with the lights down low. I mean, we've actually had to pick him up from school because the school have called us and said he just looks exhausted. And I've brought him home, and he's literally just needed to completely desensitize himself. So he's just taken himself to bed, shut the curtains, shut himself off completely from everything, and then he's fallen asleep for 2 hours, and then he can face the world again. But he just gets completely overwhelmed, completely overstimulated, and just needs that kind of downtime. So he's got a party tomorrow, and then he's got a cinema trip with a neighbour's daughter who, he's known since they were kids. I used to look after, since they were kids, since they were really little, because I used to look after her kids as well. He's been invited to the cinema with them for her birthday. So, but he's done it to her. He's done it to her when she's come over for an evening to watch a film or something. And I've gone down to make a cup of tea, and, I've left them watching their film downstairs, and we've stayed up here out the way, drinking tea and watching our own programmes or reading or something. And he's come up to the toilet, and then he's not gone down again, and I've gone down to make a cup of tea, and she's kind of sitting there on the sofa, and I'm like, "You're right, yeah. Where's Kenzie?" Oh, yeah, he's probably hiding. He's probably taking himself to bed. So he doesn't mean to be antisocial. So I kind of called him and said, "Kenzie, are you done? Have you done with people?" And he's gone, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay, well, you need to come and say goodbye to your friend." And I've had to walk her home and say to her, "Mum, I'm really sorry. He's just completely shut down now. He's not doing people anymore." So it's good though. It's good that he actually knows to take himself off and just, be done with it, rather than, go into meltdown or, he's got his coping mechanisms. So that's cool. Anyway, speaking of a cup of tea, that just makes me want a cup of tea now. So it sounds like Lee's film's nearly finished. He's watching a film in 3D downstairs, and he has to watch films really noisy, really loud. It's about 11:30 at night, so I hope he's not annoying the neighbours. I've already asked him to turn it down once, because how the kids are sleeping, because their room's right above the TV. So it sounds like it's nearly finished. So I'll go make him a cup of tea, and I'll probably put this up tomorrow morning, and then I can vlog some of the weekend. I think these vlogs seem to be really popular. I've got loads of comments, got loads of new subscribers as well, which is really lovely. And I've had a couple of shout outs on a couple of other YouTubers' sites. So Minx Laura did a shout out, which was really sweet of her. And then Urban Stealth Van Man, he did a shout out to me as well. So that was really cute, really nice. So I think that's probably what's helping get a few more viewers. So I'm very grateful for that. So yeah, a few more vlogs I think is the way to go. And then chucking my my play ones and my reading ones and what have you. There won't be many shopping ones while my money is low, unfortunately. So yeah, there won't be many of those, but that's okay. I'm not a huge shopper, to be honest, which is why there's not many of them. It's really only when I've needed something or I've done a swap box or something, and so then I film what I've bought. But as a general rule, I'm not very materialistic. I don't need a lot, so yeah. Right, I'm just waffling now. So I'm going to go make tea and then go to bed.